All right, it's straight up 6 o'clock. Going to go ahead and call the Economic Planning and Development Committee meeting together here on July 5th. Everybody's here who needs to be here. All members are present, including the city administrator. That brings us to our first public comment period. Is there anybody who would like to provide comment? Hearing none, there will be a second period. What do I hear on reading and approval of minutes?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Reports, communications from city officer. Mr. Madden.
Yes, Mr. Matney, members of the committee. The fiscal year just started last week, so there's not much of a budget update at this time. So unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Madden?
None.
As he gets ready to leave us. Say what you want. It's your time. All right.
No, Mr. Madden, you may not leave.
That takes us to unfinished business. There is none. New business. That brings us to purchase sale agreement. Mr. Madden.
Mr. Matney, members of committee, what you have before you is a purchase and sale agreement for a portion of the property at 110 North Main Street. This has been discussed in executive session prior to. The PSA has been reviewed by the city's legal counsel along with 101 North Main Street partners. And so at this time, it's being requested that the committee forward this to full council with the recommendation of approval.
Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to forward this sale and purchase agreement to full council.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. And that brings us to second public comment period. Do we have anybody online that wants? All right. Committee concerns. What do we hear on adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. We are adjourned
Aye.
at 6:02.
All right. We'll call this meeting to order. For the Recreation Committee, it is currently 6:03. In attendance, we have Mr. Matney, myself, and of course, our city administrator is in the building. First is public comment. Do we have any online or anyone in the audience? Hearing none. Reading and approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
Move for approval as presented.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It passes. All right. Doesn't look like Mr. Cumberlander is here. Brandon, do you have any reports?
I do not. Mr. Cumberlander is out at a conference. But given that the fiscal year has just started, financially, the budget is just starting off for the recreation department. They have extended their online registration and in-person registration for the upcoming sports season, but everything is in working order.
Thank you. Is there any questions for Mr. Madden? Hearing none, we have no unfinished business. There's no new business. Second opportunity for public comment. Community concerns. Do we have any? I would just like to say, since this is the last meeting, Recreation Committee meeting with Mr. Madden. Mr. Madden, thank you so much for all that you did for me in the short time that I've been here, from onboarding me to working well with council. So I thank you for all your service over these 3.5 years. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
With that, do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:05. Still 1 minute longer than Mr. Matney.
6:07, I will call the Finance and Policy Committee meeting to order. Mr. Reynolds is not with us tonight, but otherwise the other committee members, myself and Ms. Kusnar, are present. Mr. Madden and Mr. Putnam Don't see Holly with us tonight. So the first public comment will be next on the agenda. Seeing no public comment at this time, we will move on to the reading and approval of the minutes from June the 6th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 6 as submitted.
We have a motion. I was not present, but I think it's okay that I do. I can second the motion to approve the minutes from June the 6th. Any changes or updates needed? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, motion carries. Moving on to the reports, as Mr. Madden indicated earlier, with it being the second day of the new fiscal, well, actually, the fifth day, right, of the new fiscal year. Do you have a report or anything for the committee?
I do not, Ms. King.
Mr. Putnam, do you have a report or are you good? All right, thank you. There's no unfinished business. There's no new business. So we're to our second public comment. Seeing none, committee concerns.
I have nothing.
Hearing none, what do I have on adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned at 6:08. Woo-hoo! Where's Mr. Matney?
All right. Call to order the Public Works Committee meeting for July 5th. It is 6:10. All right. Any public comment? You online? No? Okay. Reading and approval of minutes from last committee meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Move on to the next. Okay. Board's communication officers. Mr. Fleeman.
It's on? Yes, there it is. We have not spent any money. Our budget's at 100%.
Way to go.
Any, Mr. Fleeman, real quick, I have a real quick question. Well, I guess, first of all, is there any questions, Ms. King? Real quick, I know we had the, what was it, the job fair? Any perspective?
2.
Any drivers?
No.
Still hunting? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you for, I know you've been driving around yourself and putting time in. I just want to thank you for doing that. Well,
It's all in a day's job, man.
well, we're short-staffed, so thank you very much.
No problem.
All right. Any, there's no unfinished business. There's no new business. Public comment. Okay. All right. Public comment. Committee concerns? All right, nothing. What do I hear on adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, it is 6:12 PM and I'll call the Building Codes Committee meeting to order. Is there any public comment? Mr. Aldeball, would you state your name and address, please?
Yes, sir. I'm Clay Aldeball. I live at 103 Braddock Drive, Mauldin. And what I wanted to talk about is, as a concerned citizen, I felt that I should come speak to you tonight to put a voice to those concerns. My name, like I said, is Clay Aldeball, and I live in the Knollwood neighborhood. And my concerns are about what I perceive to be a degrading of the Knollwood neighborhood. And my concerns, I think, probably pertain to other neighborhoods in the Mauldin area. I would specifically like to address 2 major issues. First being the codes that protect the appearance of the property. I'm aware that some people have had visits for code infractions to keep their grass from getting too high. And I'm also aware that people have been alerted to keeping boats and trailers, et cetera, out in their front yards. Yet there seems to be no solution for keeping the number of cars in the yard or on the streets. I appreciate keeping the grass at a reasonable level, and I assume that such provision was made to keep our neighborhoods in Mauldin looking nice and helping protect our property values. I must say, however, that several cars parked in the yard are more of an eyesore than the grass being high. Second issue I want to address piggybacks on the first issue and may even be the cause of the first issue. The second issue concerns the zoning for single-family homes. What I am seeing is that in these times of high cost of apartments and rentals, we're seeing multiple families splitting the cost of a house for the rental, and which in my mind is not a single-family home. In some cases, there are rooms being rented in a home that is owned by one of the occupants. Obviously, these two circumstances could cause the first issue as previously stated. This also causes extra cars to be parked on the streets. In some cases, a neighbor has a car parked in front of their property almost constantly and is not even theirs or an occasional guest of theirs. As I've looked through the zoning ordinance document, I would venture to say there are more restrictions defined for business concerning parking than there are for single-family homes. Again, I'm not saying that those restrictions are not necessary for businesses because I believe they are. But what those restrictions do is let businesses know what the expectations are. And I believe similar expectations should be afforded to homeowners so that the number of cars at a home don't rival those of a business. With this said, I'm wondering what it means to have a single-family home zoning if it doesn't enforce single families. I understand that it is not unusual to have an older child move back in for a short period of time and for many reasons. Even so, there must be a solution that will stem the degrading appearance of the property. I'm not saying that this is an easy issue to resolve, but I am saying that it will require the city to step up to eliminate these issues that are eroding our neighborhoods. I am saying that a zoning for single-family homes must mean something. What I'm suggesting is an alignment with the express purpose defined in section 1.1 of your zoning ordinance document. It states that the zoning regulations, the actual sentence says, such regulations have been made with reasonable consideration, among other things, to the character of each district and to its peculiar suitability for particular uses, and with a view to conserving the value of buildings and encouraging the most appropriate use of land throughout the city of Mauldin. And that's exactly what I'm looking for, is that we have something to protect our property values, because as we see these cars in yards and stuff, it is degrading the value of our property. Thank you for hearing my concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Aldeball. Is there any more public comment? Hearing none, what do I hear on reading and approval of the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, motion carries. Okay, Mr. Deerhog is not with us this evening. Do you have any report, Mr. Madden?
No, Ms. Kuzner.
Thank you. There is no unfinished business, no new business. Is there any further public comment? Hearing none, committee concerns? Hearing none, what do I hear on adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. We're adjourned at 6:18.
Okay, it is 6:19, calling the Public Safety Committee meeting for July 5th to order. We have all members of committee present, as well as Chief McCone and Chief Miller. Do we have Judge Martin?
No, ma'am.
So we'll move on to the public comment period. Seeing no public comment, what do we have on reading and approval of the minutes from June the 13th?
Motion to approve as submitted.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any corrections needed? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from June 13th, say aye. Aye. None opposed, motion carries. Reports from our city officers. Do we have Chief McCone, you good? Chief Miller? You good? Okay, come on up. While you're walking up, I did want to thank everyone that was involved with the job fair. I had several folks reach out to me and had nothing but positive input on all of the departments that were represented over at the Sports Center last week. So thank you.
Ms. King, Mr. Crowley, Mr. Allgood. We ordered our cards for last year right before July 1st. We just got the last two in, so we're good as far as this year. They're getting, they picked those two up Friday in Santee and took them to Spartanburg to get fixed, get ready. The Youth Academy is the 11th through the 22nd. It's going to be the boys the 11th through the 22nd. I've already talked to the training sergeant to go ahead and start getting the Citizens Academy set up for the fall. The hangers that I talked about as far as codes, they were ordered today, so they should be in the next week. So you probably start seeing those on people's doorknobs as you drive through the neighborhood if they have any kind of codes violation. That right there will save as far as sending out certified letters, because sometimes they can't catch them at home, so then they have to send them a certified letter, whereas if they stick the hanger on the door with the violation and get them to call back, that'll help out a lot. Also, the police department, we're in the process. Y'all probably saw it on Facebook today, and I sent it out in the weekly last week about the active shooter classes. Those are going well, and like I say, if y'all ever want to come to any of them, just let me know and we'll get you set up for it. And that's all I've got.
Thank you. Any questions for Chief Miller?
Real quick, the hangers that you're putting up, they are for what type of code violations?
It's going to be for like grass, like cars in the yard that's not registered, things like that. Just the regular. There's going to be a long list of things on there that they'll mark off, and then there's a blank one in case there's one of those ones that you rarely ever use. They can fill that in and put on there, but it'll be just the typical codes violations about like leaving whole trees on the side of the road and stuff, so that Public Works doesn't have to pick that up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, moving to unfinished business, which we have none. We have no new business. So we're back to public comment. Seeing no public comment, committee concerns. Just from with BDS and public safety kind of working together as far as codes violations. Ms. Kusnar, if you don't mind talking to Mr. or if it's your wishes and the wish of your committee to address Mr. Audubon's concerns tonight and see if there's anything we can do code-wise moving forward. I saw you. Thank you. All right. No other concerns? What do I have on adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
In a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned, 6:23.